beautiful story, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful, beautiful film. Please welcome the director of the film, Amy Glazer. And the stars of the film, Wendy Malick and Alexandra Dove Rothschild. Give it up for the two wonderful leads. All right, let's meet the rest of the cast, ladies and gentlemen. Juliette Mills, the ever beautiful Juliette Mills. Maxwell Caulfield. Ray Abruzzo. Laird-Aquillo. Very tall Laird-Aquillo. Producer, Deborah Glazer. And Jim Orr, the cinematographer.
Jim Orr is the person who shot all of this. And not only did Jim Orr tell this story, but if you come tomorrow and see The Surrogate, he also shot that because I don't direct without my partner, Jim Orr. But I just wanted to say that I don't know whether you got that, but we had so much joy. There was so much aloha spirit for us, similar to the spirit that Patrick has created for all of us at this festival, but it was really a glorious experience. And Patrick, thank you so much for hosting our last farewell.
Woohoo! Well done. Thank you, Amy. And I meant to tell you this in the introduction because Miss Malick, you've been here before. She got married here. She eloped here to Sedona, ladies and gentlemen. Had her wedding out in the Red Rocks, stayed at Enchantment, and had their wedding dinner, I think, Creekside at LeBears. Is that correct?
We eloped and climbed up a mountain. In fact, one of my dearest friends from college, Joan Curtis Burke, is here. And her daughter, who was then, how old were you then? 5? Tiny. Well, she's 37 now. So, but Lou and Joan and Alyssa were there, and we eloped with 10 of our friends. One of them was a minister, and we climbed up a mountain in Boynton Canyon at sunset. And boy, this place is a very romantic and sexy town, guys.
And they are our guests at the beautiful Ambiente Resort, ladies and gentlemen. So she was very, very excited when she said, "Where did you put us? This place is amazing." So give a round of applause for Ambiente for donating the accommodations for these wonderful people. I'm going to fire the first question, and they're going to share some mics, but I'm going to come down to the audience and raise your hand if you've got a question. I will come to you with the mic. But Amy, I want to talk to you about the casting of this incredible group of people. Everyone here. How did the casting process work?
Okay, well, full disclosure, it all began with Lexi Dove, who Alexandra Dove Rothschild. She has so many names, but it all began with her, and she had loved Amelia Earhart and had decided that she was going to make a movie about Amelia Earhart. She went to our screenwriter, Colette Friedman, and Colette came up with this what-if story. What if you were a granddaughter and there was an Amelia Earhart? And then she had seen Kepler's Dream, a film I had directed several films ago, and it was also about a grandmother, Holland Taylor, and a young granddaughter, and I think she liked the tenor of that, and so she asked me if I would direct it. I read the script. I was in the middle of editing The Surrogate, which you hopefully will see tomorrow, and Wendy Malick is in that, and all I could think is, if Wendy said yes as Amelia Earhart, I would say yes. No, I have to say, if Wendy and Jim Orr, because there is no way we could shoot this on 18 days without the brilliance of this man. So... And they both said yes, like crazy people. They just said, sure. And I said, okay. And then Lexi and I found a house that we would all live in. And then we needed the rest of the cast. And so many of the Hawaiian actors, of which only Laird is here, we saw Laird in a Zoom audition and fell so in love with him that we changed the storyline to make him the brother, the younger brother, because he turned 21 on the set. But he hates when I say that. But anyhow, we needed the expats, because for me, this story is about extended family and how we take care of each other. And so then Wendy got on the phone.
It was one of those serendipitous things that sometimes this was meant to be. And the first people I called, I said, it'd be great to be my best friend is Juliette. I said, I've worked with her, she's terrific, she's such a pro, and she's just delightful, and I think we would be a really good team. And it was a crucial role, and I called her and said, okay, this is really nuts, but are you doing anything? Do you want to work on a film for no money and go to Hawaii for a few weeks? And she said, oh, darling, I don't know, no, I said, do you want to do an indie film? And she said, well, darling, we're in Hawaii right now on vacation. And I said, where? She said, oh, Oahu. And I said, that's where we're filming. Don't come home, just stay there. And then, by the way, could Max maybe play my husband in this, if you're both there? And then I thought of Ray Abruzzo as another. There was a character named Ray, who was one of the expats who drank a lot. And I thought, oh, Ray, who doesn't even drink. He doesn't even drink. But it just sort of worked out like that. And if you ever, well, I don't know if any of you are going to get a chance to work with Amy, but if you ever do, you just can't say no. And you have a great time. It's kind of insane, but in the best possible way.
Thank you. And then something happened. We were no longer a cast and a director, but we were collaborators on this beautiful tale that we all wanted to tell together for all of our reasons. And we actually became the family we were creating on stage. We just... Ray's little Carmine. Carmine. How many of you recognize him as little Carmine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
You might have to mention the show.
The Sopranos.
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't recognize him before then. But we really, and the Hawaiian actors, and this is where Deb Glazier comes in. We both have the similar last names. We're not related, but now we are. But Deb was boots on the ground. She was our producer, our line producer, our anything that needed to happen, including our casting director for all the Hawaiian casting. And she's the one that brought us these amazing actors. And then Lexi and Wendy and I, who were all producers, would talk about the casting and decide, and then ultimately I would, but I listened carefully to what everyone was saying. And I think the casting also is our love letter to Hawaii, because we wanted a small footprint. We wanted so many people behind the scenes were Hawaiian. And this was all, Deb, say something about Hawaii.
It's an amazing place, and I think it looks even better because of Jim. All of that photography was Jim Moore. It's incredible. We had an amazing cast and crew. We all worked so close together for 18 days, and that's really unheard of for a feature film. 18 days. That was just every day we woke up and, shot a film, and we didn't go to sleep. I didn't sleep. I don't know about you guys.
No, and not only that, but my husband, James Connolly, he was with us. We all slept at this house. So at about 4 a.m, the crew would start jumping over our bed to try to plug in cords. He finally moved in with Ray. He couldn't take it anymore. But it was, and then Juliette would come over and take a nap in my bed. Remember how Juliette say something? We called Juliette and Max royalty. When I had such a crush on her that when Wendy said, I'm going to get you, Juliette, it was like, oh my God, really? Anyhow, speak to them.
And just one thing about the cast, too, is that it's true with actors. They always say that the actor completes the role. And even though it serendipitously worked out the way it did, they completed the role. Like, I can't imagine anyone else playing that role. You were marvelous.
Well, it was kismet. We were there on holiday. Wendy calls, and suddenly we're both doing a movie in Hawaii, which means we had to stay longer. And I got to work with my friend, Wendy Malick, who is really a wonderful actress. And this film is so moving. I don't know about any of you, but this is the second time I've seen it, and it really gets to you, and it really very moving at the end when she's flying and free, and it's really beautiful. And the music is fabulous.
And she got us the music. Oh, so
Well, no,
Maxwell,
I didn't.
No, but Maxwell and because they go to Hawaii so often, they found us, Kaipo and Bobby, the two instrument-playing musicians. And they were musicians.
Kaipo is actually a Grammy award-winning musician.
Yeah.
But she brought them to us, and I made them stay. And then I said, by the way, do you want to act? And we put them in the scenes. And so we used much of their music because we had no money for score. So they really became a great deal of the score. A lot of the sounds, the ambient sounds, like when we go into her head, a lot of the ambient sounds are his slide guitar and his metal string, whatever it was. But all those sounds we used, and it was, anyhow.
This is so wonderful. I've never had a Q&A that I didn't have to do a single thing for. This is great. This is wonderful. Anybody have a question in the meantime? Here you go.
I don't really have a question, but Wendy Malick, I screened this film, I think it was back in August, and I was familiar with you. Well, as a native Clevelander, you had me at hot in Cleveland. But now I was seeing you stepping into this serious role, and I found your performance captivating. It transported me to Hawaii. I've never been there. The scenes of the scattering of the ashes on the water, I found especially moving. There were just so many parts of this film that touched my heart. And having not been to Hawaii, but I feel like I've seen some of the heart that exists in Hawaii. But thank you so much for stepping into this role and showing us, wow, what a diverse talent you are.
And talk to me about I really love the fact that it was such a beautiful way, not really answering the question, is she or isn't she, letting the characters take what they believed was to be true. Was that a conscious decision the whole time through? Was that how the script was? Or was there ever any anticipation of a different ending?
Yeah, I think from the beginning, first of all, I just want to say I'm beaming with gratitude for being here at Sedona. Pat, you are an amazing casting director, and this has been a warmest welcome we've had. I just couldn't have dreamed that this is where we'd end our tour in this amazing place with you.
We saved the best for last, I must say.
And gratitude to everyone here for taking a chance on me and our story, and Colette Friedman, who wrote the script. I spoke with Colette about wanting to leave it as a question when we were doing the script, and that ping pong of is she, isn't she, and in every scene you're like, oh no, she definitely is, and then the next one, oh no, she couldn't be. And then Amy took that and massaged it and made it so beautiful with Jim in the cinematography to really leave you with that on the edge of your seat, like, are you going to find out? Is she going to say it? Like at the tip of her tongue, are you Amelia?
And then she grabs the wheel, and either they crash because she's suffering from Lewy body dementia, or she's Amelia Earhart. And I have to say, Lexi and I were very much on the same page with that. And then my brother, Mitch Glazer, the first person we thank, who is very much the angel to this project and this, in many ways, helped develop the script with us, with me, because he does that, because that's what big brothers do. Mitch Glazer, he wrote The Recruit, Scrooge, Great Expectations, he's done a few screenplays. Anyhow, he said to me, you can keep it ambiguous until you get to the end. But at the end, you have to give them an answer. It's not fair. I mean, they can walk away believing she's not, and that they're going to crash. But on some level, you have to give your audience an answer. And Wendy and I, from the beginning, believed that she is. So like much of film, it evolved. It's first a script, and then it's a shooting script, and then it's, Jim, wake up and get the moon, and then you get into an editing room, and the last scene becomes the first scene, and stuff like that gets moved around, and you really find the story for the third time. And so that's kind of our journey.
And Wendy just transformed. You were just, it was an incredible performance. I was so honored to get to see and witness in the scenes with you. And so in my mind, she definitely is. I think Wendy is our Amelia.
I have a question for you on the line because all of us watched the film when we were considering this on our little laptops. And I don't know if Patrice, you and Charlotte agree with me, but the line that got the laugh is, why would they? She crashed. That was not a funny line when we were watching it on our laptop. Has it gotten that reaction everywhere? Because that was
Everywhere.
unexpected to me.
Everywhere, and I will tell you, I don't consider myself a writer. I adapt, but I don't write. That was my line. And nothing gives me more pleasure every night.
That was amazing. I'm like, this is really sick. I'm like, that did. But well done, people. If anyone has a question, raise your hand. Oh, we're going to right here, and then I'll come up to the top.
I saw in the credits that Lexi got a credit for being one of the stunt pilots. And so I wanted to hear more about your flying skills and where you flew in the scenes in the film.
Oh yeah, it was a thrill. Flying and aviation has always been in my family. My mom's family, different family members worked at Lockheed, which made one of Amelia's planes. And my mom was a flight attendant in the 70s. So it's just been in our family, this joy of flying. And Deb's a pilot as well, by the way. And so I absolutely wanted to fly in the film, and thankfully I was able to. I flew in a Cessna when I filmed like a sizzle reel to pitch to people, and then in the movie I got to fly in, I think, 2 or 3 different planes. My favorite is the one in the intro, the Citabria, and he got to fly in it on his own and do the acrobatics. And fly over to Molokai because it's a 2-person plane, and the pilot is supposed to be in the front seat, and so he rigged it up so that they could film it with me in the front seat flying with the real pilot behind me. So he was flying it, but I did have the controls, and he definitely let go at some points up there, which was very scary but exciting. For my character, I feel like the most in her skin was when I was in the planes.
And Jim, let Jim talk, because Jim has done a lot of flying photography, flying cinematography.
Yeah, my dad's a pilot.
And underwater.
So yeah, I have done a bunch, but this was, when I read the script, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, so there's flying, there's swimming, there's underwater. I love all that stuff. So, and I just gotta say that I think Hawaii's the real, thing that makes us beautiful. If I can't shoot Hawaii good and make a beautiful movie, I shouldn't be shooting it. So, my daughter got to have. Oh, and also, by the way, let's not overlook my performance in the Ashes. I think that was a linchpin. I think it's a linchpin position. It really elevated the film.
He was on the surfboard when they did the paddle out. He was the one who released the ashes. And
The whole crew was on the paddle out. There was no one on shore but like me and a bunch of useless people. That my AD, Jim, the entire crew was out there. And so is he, which is very funny since he's on the shore looking out in the scene, and then he's.
Nice. We have
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
You got to drive the stick shift too.
Yeah, I did. That VW, it's the VW thing. I drove stick shift like twice before that. So they were like, well, what's up, man? You're going to drive this old car. I stepped in, there's 3 pedals. I'm like, oh, this is going to, woo, this is going to be fun. Yeah, woo. But no, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And there's a couple of situations there where we heard a little bit of a grinding noise, and Amy was like, "The owner of the car's not here. Just play it off." So we're like, "Oh, all right, cool." So yeah, it was a lot of fun being on set for this movie. And we shot in Oahu. I was born and raised on Oahu, so it was a pleasure to be able to shoot and shoot a movie that I cared about in my hometown. So it's great.
We have a question up here in the balcony.
Have they recruited you for NCIS Hawaii yet?
Yeah, not yet.
must say, just since I got the microphone, I like Juliet, this is the second time I've seen it through on the big screen, and it actually gets better with multiple viewings. It reminds me very much, I was actually very moved, like all of us no doubt were, by the end of the film. And I find a great parallel with another film that's out right now and has been similarly acclaimed. Well, been acclaimed for the acting of Annette Bening and Jodie Foster in Nyad, which obviously you can all see on Netflix, but it's also about a pioneering woman. And did she or didn't she? Because there's always been a bit of controversy about Diana Nyad and her accomplishments. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not perpetuating any of those myths, but the heroism of these women. And Wendy and Annette are very close, sort of contemporaries, I would imagine, in giving similarly bravura performances. So if you haven't seen Nyad yet, I will encourage you. It's another one that's out there on the open water with stunning, basically involving immense bravery. And the film is incredibly ambitious that it is straddling the two worlds of the deterioration of the mind, which is what as you see in the film, the definition of dementia, and also the concept that Amelia Earhart did live, survived the crash. And as you notice, she keeps surfacing all the time. And that's not I don't mean that as a bad pun. She keeps re-emerging because people can't let the essential mystery of them go. And even when we left from Burbank Airport in Southern California to come here, there's an amazing statue of Amelia Earhart and a display case of her amazing accomplishments. And the mystery remains.
And they think they found her plane.
Yeah, recently.
They have very recently discovered, very deep down, like 30 feet down, her plane. And it's, oh, no, I mean 300. I meant 300. I'm not good with numbers. No, but the point is, decades later, she's still with us. And how important for our daughters, right? For the young girls to know that we didn't just invent this. There were pioneering women all the way through.
We have a question up here in the balcony.
How would you personally initiate this idea? How did it come to you?
Probably about 9 years ago now. My mom and I were talking about, we were making short films. I studied acting and I was sick of auditioning for roles I didn't even like. And I wanted to start making my own stuff, and she's always been inspiring me to do what I want and make my dreams come true, like she did in flying. And, we wanted to make a movie about Amelia Earhart, and I wanted to play Amelia Earhart, and who wouldn't? But I don't have the chops or any of the things that really would make me Amelia like you have so beautifully done. But being at the core of it, of wanting to break barriers for women and inspire, like she said, our girls. That's the kind of stories we wanted to tell. And we just kind of weaved it together of what if, it's a what if story if she lived. And we have family in Hawaii, and Hawaii is very close to, well, not very close, kind of close to where she could have crashed. And so all of those kind of elements came together. And then Colette Friedman, the writer, filled in the other beautiful characters, and then Amy took it from there and made it into this film here.
Another question right up here.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Congratulations on a really charming film. The music is great. It's visually beautiful. I had two questions to start, but you've already answered one. It was shot in Oahu, because I recognized the beautiful photography of the north coast of Molokai, the cliffs that run to the sea. It's breathtaking. But why did you decide...
The Chinaman hat.
Sorry?
The Chinaman hat? Why did we shoot the...
No.
Oh.
No. Let me ask my question. Why, of all the Hawaiian islands, did you choose to stage it, not shoot it, on Molokai?
Financially. That's where the equipment was. That's where more of the crew is.
Why did you
Oh.
choose
It's the most remote and kind of where she could have gone undercover without
where people would not have known for so many years, right? Where, you know, she's turning 80.
She could have disappeared more easily.
She could have disappeared more easily. That's, yes, but the big question was, were we going to shoot that gorgeous vista that we keep going back to with each chapter of the, what is the actual name of it, the Chinaman hat? It's a long Hawaiian name. Anyhow, initially, because that's such a telltale sign that we're not in, you know, a Molokai, that we're in Oahu, we were trying to shoot around it. And finally, I woke up one morning and said, it's so gorgeous, it's so iconic. Let's just shoot it. Who's going to know? Everybody knows. But that was me.
You know, one thing you mentioned in music, and one of my favorite moments thinking back on this peaceful night, we were having almost a full night shoot, a very late night shoot, and on lunch break, Ray was just playing the bongos, and you are a great musician, I think. I don't know, I was just...
He is. He's a drummer.
Well, you suck.
Those guys are so inspiring, those two Hawaiians. I don't need a microphone, I can hear. Those guys were so inspiring just to sit and listen to them. And so, and when they said, oh yeah, go ahead and play, I was like, okay, that can sound pretty good. And much like Jim out in the water, I think the bongos kind of carried the film. And it's very important, I think, for you people here at Sedona to realize the sacrifice actors make. You think we work hard to make these characters. We have to go to Hawaii. And now we have to come to Sedona for a film festival.
It's a rough life.
It's hard work.
Okay, I'm feeling so sorry for you at this point, but you know, as Pat said, this is your last film festival appearance, so congratulations on all that. But tell us about the future. What's going on? You know, the releases and everything.
Well, the future is that now Lexi and I and Wendy, with her team, are now shopping it around for distribution, sales and distribution, and you know, different good people are watching it, and we're just hoping that they feel the way you feel, and that it gets out into the world, because it would be a shame for it to end with Sedona.
We love Sedona, and we hope that you can maybe tell your friends. One person once told me a great advice to give at a film festival is not only to follow the film if you do like it, to see its journey, where it ends up, but if you want to, rate it on IMDb. That actually does help when we have meetings with distributors to see that the people who have seen it rated it highly and liked it and reviewed it, if you want.
Good advice. Thank you.
Think of my performance.
Question right over here.
No problem. I'm the hidden figure in the back. Laird Akio, is that correct? Laird, you auditioned on Zoom, is that correct?
Yes, I did, yeah, about 2 weeks before we started shooting.
So were you a working actor before?
Yeah, I had done one movie before that. I had just came back from theater school. It was like right kind of after, you know, the whole deal with COVID, and my school had gone online, so I just decided to try to give it a shot. Got a movie, and then a few weeks after that one wrapped, I got an email from Deb there, and I got to audition. So yeah, it was.
And what is next for you?
So I have a few films coming out this year, so I'm just excited to see where they go.
He was just in Slam Dance.
Yeah, I was just at Sundance the past week, the past month, which is really fun. That was really exciting. My sister just moved up there. My brother's up there now, so it was really serendipitous. Like it was essentially a family reunion. It was pretty funny.
But I will tell you something, a little inside thing. When you cast a character, you don't just cast the character, you cast the relationship. And when Lexi read with Laird, something happened, and I went, okay, it's done. We got it. And that's what it was. It was the dynamic between them. Same thing with Lexi and Wendy, that really is what, you know, it's that synergy that lifts the story and helps you believe in the relationship.
I'm gonna file the last question, then we got a special presentation, but it's a two-part question. First for Wendy. Talk to us because, of course, you're so well known for your comedic roles. Hot in Cleveland, Just Shoot Me Now, of course, on Young Sheldon. And this dramatic role, of course. What's easier for you? What are the challenges? And what do you prefer as an actress to be able to do if you were given the ideal thing you could do?
Well, I like pieces where you get to do it all. And I think comedies are changing so much now, and I'm working now on Shrinking, which is an Apple TV show where it's very funny sometimes, and it can also be heartbreaking. And I think that's just the nature of being human. So as much as people probably know me most of all for comedic roles in theater, I've done a lot more dramatic roles, and I love to make people laugh, and I love to laugh myself. So I mean, that's pretty delicious, and it's hard to do a straight role sometimes for me, but I think even in this film, there are moments of humor, and I think it's just wanting to be able to use every part of you. I remember when Meryl Streep did a comedy, and I thought, why would she want to do a comedy? She's the greatest living dramatic actress on the planet. But then I thought about it for another minute and thought, why would she not? Why would she not want to go out and do something fun that is joyful and spreads happiness and makes people laugh? And but this one was irresistible to me, not only because of Amy and having worked with her before and trusting her, and being grateful to Lexi for allowing me to come into this and inviting me. But I think one of the hardest things was to honor the idea of Lewy body dementia, and that was really, really. I was really kind of freaked out about that. And when I'm scared of something, I say yes. So I thought, this is territory that's right for me, but I want to try.
Wonderful. Now, this is not a question for any of you. Joan, where are you? Joan, we want to know what Wendy was like in college. So talk to us about the real Wendy Malick in college, because I understand you were best friends. Tell us a little bit about her. Perhaps a naughty story, a little delicious.
No naughty stories, really. She was much like you see her now. She was kind of the leader of the pack, and we had a great pack. And she kept us all light and happy, and she was there in times of need, and she continues to be that way. It's wonderful to have her for a friend. She's a great friend.
Thank you, thank you. Now, I'm going to make my way up to the stage, but I want to especially point out how important it was that you made this such a real film. You know when everybody sings Happy Birthday in the office and it's really horrible? That was the worst version of Happy Birthday I've ever heard. You made it so real, no one was in tune. That was fantastic.
And that was by a choice. Yeah, I mean, we made a specific choice not to sing.
Because it wouldn't have been in tune, because you were all out there enjoying it, but it was beautiful. And Laird, you have to get a picture with my wife, because I have to see that she's 5 feet tall. She'll go up to your belly button. So wait till you see how tall he is when he's out in the lobby. We appreciate you all being here so much, and we are absolutely honored to present my wonderful VIP hospitality manager Liz Moeller is going to bring up a special award for Miss Wendy Malick. We are honoring Wendy with our Outstanding Actress Award, the Sedona International Film Festival. Thank you, my Vanna. We'll do this one first. So first we have one that has a lot of words on that we can hang on the wall, but I want to read this aloud to you. 2024 Outstanding Actress Award presented to Wendy Malick in honor of your passion and dedication to acting and your commitment to the art of independent filmmaking. In recognition of your outstanding career of bringing memorable characters to life on the big screen and small, and in appreciation to your devotion to projects that make us laugh, make us cry, and make a difference. Thank you for sharing your passion with us and with the world. We also thought that might get a little bulky, so we gave you one of our Sedona Film Festival ones to put on your desk. Now, Wendy is going to be here tomorrow along with Jim and with Amy for The Surrogate. But she's a working actress, she is. Would you like to take that for her, darling? She's a working actress, and she's due back on the set. It's the final season of Young Sheldon. So she's got to be back on the set Monday morning. So she's going to introduce The Surrogate tomorrow, and then we have to whisk her away, and then Amy, of course, and Jim are going to do the Q&A for The Surrogate. So don't miss that film. Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Please, please. It's
thought,
funny.
Wendy, a really nice way to honor us, since you got married in Sedona, is to convince your set dressers on Young Sheldon to put those awards in your scene. Now. They can be subtle. They can be in the background. Only Sedona will know that they're in there. Now, I want you all to turn around because we have taken the liberty. Brian Reinhardt, who did that wonderful piece, I said, Brian, I need these awards in Wendy's set on Young Sheldon. She plays the college dean,
principal.
Well, the principal of the college. No, it's not the principal.
And the president.
She plays the president of the college on Young Sheldon. We have taken the liberty of creating her set. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look. Wendy, take a look. Our awards are now in your office on Young Sheldon. There they are. Don't you think it's fabulous? Sedona, don't you think she should do this? Go back on Monday. Go back. We'll talk. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Wendy Malick, our Outstanding Actress Award. The whole entire cast and crew, thank you all so much for being here. They'll be in the lobby for cake and chocolates Prosecco. We're off to the 30th anniversary. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to vote.